Okie ingenuity takes many forms, including home design, and this oddball house in Enid is a shining example. Dan and Libby Midgley moved to Oklahoma as newlyweds in the late 1800s, and almost immediately they began collecting. They loved to travel, and every place they went, they picked up rocks and hauled them back to Enid. Soon, there were enough fossils, crystals, and petrified wood to not only fill a house, but to build a house. Mr. Midgley brought in stonemasons to select, chip, and fit each rock together exactly. The stones were put into place so tightly that no mortar is visible between them. But rocks weren't the Midgleys' only passion. They collected all sorts of things. And thanks to their saving nature, a tour of this home-turned-museum is like a stroll through the first half of the 20th century. When you first see the Ballinger House in Norman, it's as if you're seeing something that sprang from the earth itself. The house rises in a spiral around a large iron pipe. Cables support the house, and a bridge on one side counterbalances the weight of the house. Inside, the house is all open space. The islands you see inside are actually rooms without walls. Your first reaction might be disbelief.
You name it, we've had a comment on it. It brings out a variety of comments from a variety of people that have different backgrounds and different viewpoints on how people should or shouldn't live, and you have your pro people and your negative people, of course.
The house was built from a Bruce Goff design in 1955 by artist Eugene Ballinger, who was just as eclectic as Goff. Many say this might be Goff's finest design, and others question whether the house is even livable. The large round steel structures are really closets. Carpeted circular areas hang from the ceiling. Rooms, really, that had curtains that could be pulled around them for some amount of privacy. Bob Ballinger is fulfilling his parents' wishes that the house be open for tours, and you'll want to see this spectacular dwelling firsthand. Just a few blocks from downtown Tulsa is perhaps one of Tulsa's best-known buildings. It's a curiosity known as the Cave House. The structure is what remains of the novel Cave Garden Restaurant. Through the years, the quirky structure has attracted a host of eccentric occupants, including current owner Linda Collier.
I grew up and, like just about everybody else in Tulsa, had passed it and just wanted to see what it looked like inside. And so one day I read in the paper that it was for sale. They were highlighting it as a landmark, and I quickly ran over thinking I could sneak a peek, and ended up, once the door was opened and I just was smitten, ended up buying it. And I've loved it ever since.
The house zigs and zags, and just meandering through it feels a bit like you're on safari. From the kitchen, a very steep staircase leads to the second floor, where Linda's ingenuity and sense of humor is everywhere. For whatever reason, love of history or just the sheer weirdness of the structure, people continue to be intrigued by Tulsa's Cave House. And thanks to Linda's I've always wanted to see inside tours, your most deep-seated curiosities can finally be put to rest. Touring one-of-a-kind homes in Enid, Norman, and Tulsa, I'm Shel Wagner.